What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing another install video for the Supra. That's right, we're going to be doing a oil pressure gauge. I picked up this Tanabe VLS oil pressure gauge to match my boost gauge. If you guys haven't seen how I install my boost gauge, make sure you check out the other video. I also bought this Autometer right hand drive dual gauge pod A-pillar. So if you guys want to know the model number, it is that, and it is for the right hand drive Toyota Supra. I also bought this piece right here. So this is where I'm going to be tapping the oil pressure at. So I read up a lot online that the union bolt is probably the best place to tap the oil pressure. So this goes on side of the block, which is on your oil filter bracket. So this is the reason why we're doing an oil change. If you guys know that I have to get this adapter, so it is this bolt. It is a 1/8 BSPT thread size, and then the oil pressure gauge is a 1/8 NPT. So in order for me to tap it in here, I had to buy this adapter to mount the VLS oil pressure sending unit on here. So if you guys want to know what the part number is, this is from a Lexus. It is right here. Let me see if you guys can see it. And then I got a gasket for it as well too. So here's the gasket. There's not a lot of information online and not a lot of videos to show how to install a oil pressure gauge on your Supra, especially on a 2JZGTE motor. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today, and I'm going to show you guys how. So if you guys want to know, stay tuned.
Supra.
Look who showed up. Hi, Uber Eats.
I'm bearing gifts. What's up?
What's going on?
Chilling.
Cheers. Y'all know who it is.
Babe God.
Oh yeah.
So I took it off from the car. Here's the factory A-pillar. And then here's the Autometer gauge pod on here. So pretty much very clean. Hardly any gaps. Drill 4 holes on the side and pretty much this push clip inside, and then I had to drill another hole inside for the wires. So right there. So taking it out from the car is actually not that hard. It's pretty much just 2 clips, one right here, then another one right here, and it just pretty much pops out. Just pull on the side, pull this way, and everything should come out. I'm going to relocate the boost gauge back to the A-pillar. So my boost and then my oil pressure is going to be right here. And then for now I'm just going to put back my stock clock in there just to fill in the gap. So I'm going to have to remove this whole trim again and reroute the wires. So here's the engine. So since we're doing an oil change, might as well just do an oil pressure gauge as well. So you guys want to see where it is. So here is the oil filter, and then it's going to be kind of hard, but let me see if I can try to point it. It's that big 24mm bolt. I mean, you can't see it right now, but I'll show you guys once I take the battery off and I'll put it in here. So alright, so it's pretty much easy. Take off this battery, reach inside, 24mm bolt, break it open, pull out the union bolt, take out the oil filter, and then put the union bolt from the Lexus in there, sending unit. Reroute the wires back into the firewall. and then should be pretty much it. So we're gonna go ahead and take off this battery first, so that way we have enough room to reach in the back. Some people have the traction control delete, where you can pretty much access the oil filter right there a lot easier. But since I still have it, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this. Just 10mm bolts right here, another right here to remove the battery tie down, and then pretty much the 10mm for the terminals. Alright, so we just took the oil filter off, and then here's the union bolt, factory. So you guys can see it, 24mm. There's no hole. It's pretty much side by side, literally the same. We had to get 24 deep in and a 3-inch extension on a 1/2-inch drive breaker bar, and just wedge it in there and then pretty much break it loose. Alright, so after a few runs to the auto store and a little trial and error on the plug, we finally got the sending unit in. So here's another issue with the right-hand drive car, is that the oil pressure gauge wire for the sending unit, normally it'll go that way and have enough wire to go into the A-pillar, but because you're going through the firewall again on this side, you're taking up more of the wire, so we had to splice in, so cut the original wire, splice in the wires, and pretty much get an extension that goes running underneath the firewall to the driver's side A-pillar on the Supra, right-hand drive Supra. So that was a little hassle, but pretty much everything is done in terms of oil. Just filled it up with that purple stuff, 10W30 underneath. The drain plug is plugged, oil filter is on, tighten up down the sending units and the bolts, and now all left is just wiring it into the car. So I'm going to be removing the dash panels and then rerouting that boost gauge this way, and then we should be all set. So I took all my trim out to redo my boost gauge. So if you guys don't know how to take out the trim, check out my other video on installing a head unit. I'll pretty much tell you how to do it. But so I remember I used my boost gauge and I tapped into my clock, and the boost gauge wire is actually short. So what I did is I kept the original connected and I just cut it, and I extended the wires all the way to my A-pillar side. So here's the power for the boost gauge. So yeah, everything is there. So I just gotta hook it all up. We should be all done. Alright, so we just plugged it in. So here's the sensor and this daisy chain for the boost and the oil pressure. So we're gonna turn it on. Alright, we got power. Both at 0. It's good. I'm gonna turn it on. Alright, boost is at 19, 20, which is great. Oil pressure is at 53, 54. Alright, so I think we're good. Yep. So now we just gotta put everything together and we should be good. So gauges are on the trim. A-pillar's back on. Everything looks good. Tuck it in. So let's do a couple turn.
Well, I'm trying to get it to focus, not focusing. There you go.
Alright, so now turning on the car. Yeah, everything looks good. Stock Clock is back on. A-pillar. Everything's reading good. So yeah, we're all set. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. So yeah, there's not a lot of oil pressure gauge installed for the Supra, so I'm glad I'm able to do one for you guys. So if you guys find this useful, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Until then, peace.